So we're having a dish from Indianish, the cookbook, and James is having some homemade bread and juice, and I'll talk about that in a minute. The Mountain was not worth watching. Before You Know It was so bad. And Cosmos was homemade and really, really bad. So these movies were all very much not worth watching. But I'm going to be talking about the Jeff Koons handbook and this Jeff Koons book. And they are worth borrowing from your local public library. And I will explain. Don't buy. He
Especially
has
Jeff
plenty
Koons.
enough money.
Yeah.
So nobody needs to be spending any money on anything of his.
Yeah,
really.
I kind of think he's a bozo, but who knows?
Well, I have more respect for him now, having read this, and I will explain why, but it'll take me a long time. So I'll do it in parts. All I will do today is read you my notes that I made while going through the books, and I would recommend that you go through this book first. This was from the Vera Bracken Library from Medicine Hat College.
Thank you, Medicine Hat College.
And the other one came from somewhere else. I got them through TAL. So, I would recommend going through this one first and then the other one. Because this one just has the pictures of the artwork and the year, title, what material was used to make the stuff. And then you should be able to analyze the artwork all on its own just from this, just without any of his marketing, which the Jeff Koons handbook has his marketing in it. So, which is also interesting. So I recommend you go through this, make your own notes, and on what you think the artwork means based on, what it looks like and the year it was made, the title and everything. It should give you enough information. Now, having said that, I would recommend you do that first before you listen to what I have to say about it. But whatever, if you don't want to turn off your camera now, or your computer, I suppose. I have the camera. Then that's fine. That's up to you. But I'm starting here. Page 9, New Hoover Celebrity 4. Now, you could go through this while I'm talking about it if you want to, or not.
Through Jeff
The
Koons?
book, because I'm giving you the page numbers, but you don't have to.
Oh, you mean
Or
to show them on the screen or something?
No, just look at it yourself, and if you want to have any input and have comment on it yourself too.
Okay, so give me a page.
Page 9. New Hoover Celebrity 4. New Hoover Convertible, New Shelton Wet Dry, 5-gallon New Shelton Wet Dry, 10-gallon double-decker, 1981 to 1986, 4 vacuum cleaners, plexiglass, fluorescent lights, 99 by 53.5 by 28 inches. The vacuum cleaners are in a display box, which is underlit. The vacuum cleaners are underlit by the fluorescent tubes. So, I'll talk about that later. If you have any input, you can certainly add it, James.
Well, in some ways it's too much like work, and how can I explain that? I did janitorial for maybe 15 years, so yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I will talk about that because he mentioned his perspective. When he looks at the vacuum cleaners, he doesn't see that. He sees work, right? Because that's what he had to do, lug these things around, and it wasn't fun for him.
Oh, I actually did like vacuuming.
Made a living.
I like vacuuming more than anything else at janitorial. I came up with lots of thoughts doing janitorial.
Vacuuming has always been my favorite of the household chores, too.
You don't have to get down and dirty.
Except
really.
now that my back has been sore, it's hard. It's heavy work.
Yeah.
But before, when I had a good back, then it was pleasurable because it's very fast. It's dirty, and all of a sudden, it's like when I would drive the turf sweeper at the research center when I worked there. It was great. I loved it. It was like vacuuming, only big and lawn, which is like a carpet, really. So it's basically the same sort of things. It looks all messy, and then all of a sudden, perfect, right? And so, honestly, what I have to say, now, don't listen to me before you look at it yourself. So go look at that. I gave you the title. If you're not going to get the book and look at it online before you listen to what I have to say. It's underlit. The vacuum cleaners are underlit. When you look at pictures, just go Google images and go sky that looks like heaven. Just look for that. A whole bunch of pictures are going to come up. And what you notice about the clouds, when you look into the sky and you go, wow, that looks like heaven, and everyone has the same sort of response to it. The clouds, there's a silver lining there. And that's what's shown with the vacuum cleaners. They have a silver lining because the fluorescent tubes have the underlit effect on the vacuum cleaners. So these things are like heaven. And when you vacuum or when you turf sweep, it's messy, and then all of a sudden clean. It's like heaven. It's perfection. That's what I have to say about that. So, page 12. 1 bowl total equilibrium tank, Spalding Dr. J Silver Series, 1985, glass, steel, sodium chloride reagent, distilled water basketball, 64 3/4 by 30 3/4 by 13 1/4 inches. The basketball appears to be floating in air in a display case.
Yeah.
Now, as with the vacuum cleaners, I already mentioned heaven and stuff like that, which the vacuum cleaners look like. And really vacuum cleaners, they suck air, right? That's what they do. They suck air. And the basketball, it's filled with air, and it appears to be floating in air there. So we have a common theme here, air. And this isn't only one of, he did a bunch of basketball things. And they're really interesting. I mean, they're quite simple. And there's a certain target audience that would appreciate this more than others. But,
who know who Dr. J is, right? Dr. J was a player in the 70s, maybe in the 80s.
You have, like, there was one, I don't remember the name of it, but there was a tank with 3 basketballs that were floating in the water, and they would spin. They'd move, all on their own.
That would be more
cool.
impressive, because this is not the way you kind of perceive a basketball. Like if you're shooting it, you're supposed to put a spin on it, a backspin. So.
Yeah, which is what the other tank gives you, the 3 basketballs. But it's 3 basketballs, I don't know. But anyway, that's interesting too. And there's a lot to be said about that. I'm trying not to give my analysis of the things, because I just want to show what I'm seeing here without going deeper into it. So all I'm going to say is the basketball appears to be floating in the case, and it's like air. It's like it's in air, even though it's not. But whatever, it's in a display case, right? So it's a product that is being like it's marketed. And anyway, page 21.
What is he saying? Sodium chloride reagent. That's just salt, right?
Well, it has to float. It has to float.
Well, I don't know why he says reagent. It's just to make it thicker, so it's like the Dead Sea, right? Yeah.
It's like the Dead Sea, which is another, which analyzing the ball, you should analyze this artwork knowing that actually it's like the Dead Sea. It's like it's floating. Now, James gave that part away, which, anyway.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I gave the first one away with the heaven, the silver lining sky clouds thing. So I'm not very good at just giving the description without actually giving my analysis, I guess. So you're already knowing where I'm going with this without... And James, I mean, he was seeing the same things that I was. Obviously. Because he talked about the Dead Sea thing. So anyway... Elvis, page 21. 2003, oil on canvas, 108 by 93 inches, 2 identical women. I mean, they probably the same woman, right? But anyway, that's not, you can't know that. So it's 2 identical women who look a little like an idealized Lisa Marie Presley. So when the first time I saw a picture of Lisa Marie Presley, I was surprised because you see a picture of Elvis, you see a picture of Priscilla, and you're sure that what's going to come out is not going to be Lisa Marie Presley. Honestly, is that how you felt when you first saw Lisa Marie?
Oh, she's amazing. Well, not ugly.
No, but not what you would think, right? So anyway, this woman looks a lot more what I would think would come out of those two people.
Yeah.
So, blonde, beautiful, large naked breasts, and perfectly toned youthful skin with an airbrushed perfection. I mean, she is absolutely stunning. Now, the breasts, large for my taste. I actually like the look of large breasts when they're under clothes, but naked I don't actually find them attractive. But a lot of people do, so a lot of people would find that just totally hot. I can't show that to the camera because I think WordPress would kick me off, but I'm not sure. So anyway, you can look it up for yourself. The name of the thing is Elvis, and it's an interesting piece. So one is wearing a black thong and nothing else. The other is wearing a black shirt or perhaps a short robe, which has slipped off and hangs around her wrist. So either way, you're seeing full tops of both. So she wears nothing else. Between the two women is what appears to be an inflated vinyl lobster. It hangs head down and in front of the two women, so the claws, each of the claws appears to be touching one of the women. And there's also a backward number 3 on the paper, which I don't know exactly if that's referring to the 3 subjects in the picture that make up the one. I'm not sure, honestly.
Where is the 3?
Look behind her bottom. Yeah, right there.
Oh, 3.
But the paper.
Well,
on the
everything
background,
is 3. Like the dance up here is backwards too.
Yeah, the dance's background
Yeah.
is backward. Or it doesn't actually say the dance. If you look at it, it says he dance. He
Well,
dance.
I'm assuming it's that. But
That's what it would
That's all you
be.
see.
But all you say is he. And then you see death forwards though, up at the top.
yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah. So not all the things on the back on the paper are backwards.
Okay.
Page 4. Balloon Dog, Orange, 1994 to 2000. You're probably, if you're not familiar with this, I don't know where you've been. High chromium stainless steel mirror polish finish with transparent color coding, 120 by 144 by 45 inches. It appears to be a balloon dog, latex and filled with air, like something a clown would make for a child at a birthday party or fair.
It's amazingly big, eh? 10 feet by 12 feet by over 7 feet.
Mm-hmm. Page 22. Again, another common theme here. We're seeing a lot. The vinyl lobster appears to be something like an air mattress filled with air. The balloon dog, although it's not a balloon, an actual balloon dog, it looks just like one.
Yeah.
Appears to be filled with air. Page 22. How do you know I was going there?
Because you said 22, so.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Aqualung, 1985, bronze, 27 by 17.5 by 17.5 inches. It appears to be a scuba tank with hoses and such, with the brand name Sequest displayed on the vest. Again, air. Page 25, Michael Jackson and Bubbles, 1988, porcelain and ceramic blend, 42 by 70.5 by 32.5 inches. It's almost entirely golden white. And his porcelain stuff is amazingly tacky. But,
well, it looks like it. That's true. But porcelain is.
But that's part of the point, I think. So anyway, the Jeff Koons handbook. So I'm on to a different book now, but you don't have to look at it because you already know the stuff out of there. And I'm basically the handbook. I'm talking about what he has to say about art. So in the art world, as it's been for a long time, artists really are more marketers, salespeople of themselves,
Yeah.
and possibly their artwork, but more of themselves
I'm afraid
Then-
you're right.
than they are artists. And it's been that way for a long, long time. And if you don't realize that, where have you been?
Yep. Salvador Dali, Yoko Ono.
Yeah,
Andy
but
Warhol.
Salvador Dali, as much as he was
Well, he did-
marketing himself and doing a great job of it, he was not popular among most people, like in the art community.
Oh, they couldn't stand him
Yeah.
because he actually would
was
come up and
marketing
say,
himself
"This is
to
what I'm doing," basically.
People who were not a part of the art community, really. People like Picasso.
Oh, they hated him. So one guy had this nickname for him. I think it was a surrealist poet. Send more dollars or something like that. It's not a very good nickname, but you know, they tended to be communists, right? And going around advertising themselves, they're hypocrites, right?
Total hypocrites. Because sure, Salvador Dali was making some money off of his
He
work.
made a lot.
Deservedly, though, I would say.
I would say so.
And I mean, other people who were making a lot of money off their art,
Probably Picasso.
really off their name, off their ability to sell themselves with their image. Really, they were making money undeservedly, as far as I can see. So,
Well, that's what I'd say
whatever.
about big old Pablo.
So, page 39. This is a quote. Morality has always played a very important part in my work. Many times I will go to the depths of hypocrisy and resurface without making any direct moral judgment. By some I am viewed as a sinner, but I am really a saint. God has always been on my side. Anyone with enough distance will be able to find my positive moral position. Page 44, another quote. I choose the vacuum cleaner because of its anthropomorphic qualities. It is a breathing machine. It also displays both male and female sexuality. 58. Aqualung is a tool for equilibrium. If someone had enough courage and really wanted to go for it, they would put the aqualung on their back and it would take them under. Page 60. 3-ball 50-50 tank 1985. Quote, the tanks are ultimate states of being, and for me they are also the being of an artificial intelligence. Due to vibration, the basketballs move. This changes the pattern of information communicated between them. This is the beginning of independent thought patterns. Page 92, Art Forum 1988-89. The Art Forum ad shows me in front of a blackboard indoctrinating very young children. Kindergartners and first graders, children really too vulnerable for such an indoctrination into my art. I really wanted to direct that sense of their vulnerability to the Art Forum leadership, the people who hate me, to make them just grit their teeth and hate me even more because I was taking away their future. I was getting at their future, the youth of tomorrow. And it's actually an excellent piece. The chalkboard behind him reads exploit the masses, and masses is underlined, and banality as savior is also on the blackboard. It's really great. You should look it up. Page 100, Naked, 1988. Two naked children, boy giving girl flowers. James is too cold. I'm going to talk about the rest of the stuff later.
Yeah, I'm getting cold here.
Yeah, you.